Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here coming at you from the Knife Center, and today we're taking a look at some of our favorite gifts for dads in 2021, whether for Father's Day or frankly, any time of the year. Let's check them out. All right, one thing you can pretty much never go wrong with is a Swiss Army knife. Especially, at least in my mind, I think, some of the Alox models out there with the aluminum handles rather than, the red plastic. And I want to show you this. That is the Pioneer X in a Knife Center exclusive color for this model, red Alox, that gets kind of that classic red vibe of a Swiss Army knife, but it's just that much more special feeling. And really, for someone important like your dad in your life, you want there to be something a little special about it. Not only do they look nicer, they also have a bit more strength built in too. And the Pioneer X takes kind of one of the classic models that traces its history all the way back to kind of the original Swiss Army knife with this set of tools here, and it adds a nice pair of scissors, which is just always super handy. And these guys are fairly affordable too. Come in about 50 bucks. Real nice price point for an excellent little gift. Another thing you can almost never go wrong with either is a nice buck knife. And here we've got kind of a modernized, fancified version of the 112 Ranger. This is actually a limited edition, and we have it on sale right now for just under $110. For that, you've got the classic profile, classic outline of the original 112 Ranger, but this is actually one of their 112 Slim models, which means it's thinner. Going to be able to carry it a lot more easily in the pocket. You won't have to have a belt, a pouch on the belt, and you also get a pocket clip. Real nice kind of fancy version here with some raised posts rather than the simple completely folded clip. You've also got a pair of dual thumb studs, so you can open this easily one-handed as well. Apart from the design differences, obviously you've got some upgraded materials here too. A nice marbled carbon fiber that looks fantastic, definitely has some of that special quality, and about a 3-inch blade with S30V steel here. So a nice bump up from the typical 420 series stainlesses that your dad may be used to, or you may be used to from Buck's more affordable offerings out there. Now, if you're looking for something a little more kind of traditional feeling in terms of its locking mechanism, rather than the lock back that we saw there, and you want just an old school slip joint, something that you don't have to worry about a lock, kind of a modern twist on kind of the old school pocket knife here with the Real Steel Luna. We've got a couple of Knife Center exclusives of this in right now that are going to make fantastic gifts because, for one thing, you do have some micarta on the handles, which is not standard on most of these, but a nice Damascus blade, a Ballbach Damascus blade that looks fantastic, in addition to having some really excellent cutting geometry as well. Just a classic kind of updated penknife blade, full flat grind, very slicey. Now, it may not have a lock, but you will have a little bit of protection, as the place where you put your index finger is going to keep the blade from moving too far, which is quite nice. You've also got another nod to kind of modern convenience with the nice slim and deep carry pocket clip you've got right here. It's going to make it very easy to carry. It's not going to be banging around in the pocket, and it's going to look super classy as well. These guys are serialized as well. These are not just a base production model. They come in about $140, but there are several versions of this knife on our site right now, all the way down to the $30 mark if you're looking for something a bit more affordable. Now, the next one I think is a standard. I feel like I can not get away without showing you a Kershaw Leek. And I'm going to show you one right now that is on sale. This is a bit fancier than the base models. We do have a nice bronze aluminum here, DLC black coated blade, still 14C28N stainless, really nice stuff. And this guy is American made and on sale right now at the $50 mark, which is quite a nice price for this guy. Blade, of course, great for everyday EDC. It cuts really well. It's nice and keen behind that hollow grind there. And you got that nice tip for doing some really, really acute puncturing with it as well. Got a liner lock on this guy, so you've got the safety right there, and folds up nice and slim. Another very slim, easy carrying EDC pocket knife, and spring assisted as well. So you get some really nice feeling from that flipping action. Very consistent every time you use it. Next up is another Knife Center exclusive. It is the CJRB Feldspar with a contoured burlap micarta handle and a nice little gold pivot collar accent there as well. This knife definitely has a more rugged feel to it with that burlap micarta handle material, so nice personality shift there. We've got a 3-inch D2 tool steel blade on this guy, but there's also a 3.5-inch version if you want to get dad something a little bit larger. $45 for these small versions here though, and it feels actually a lot more expensive than that price point usually suggests. You've got a nice inset liner lock here, which is a little nicer than just a flat slabbed liner on the inside there. Requires a little bit more machining and attention to detail. You've also got a ball bearing pivot and a set of dual thumb studs. So lefty or righty are going to be able to open this just as easily, even though that lock itself is definitely right hand biased. Pocket clip is also reversible as well. Nice deep carry too on these guys. Either one of these sizes though, the large or the small, and in fact the same is going to be true of that Kershaw we just looked at. These are going to be good knives for folks who do have larger hands because you've got a simple shape here, kind of elliptical in nature, not a lot of aggressive finger grooves or beaks or anything. And that means you'll be able to grab it, and even if your hand is a bit larger, a bit longer, it's just kind of be gentle on the end there. Just kind of hang off very neatly. You'll be able to use these knives very effectively. If you're looking for something for someone who likes a smaller thing in general though, check out these exclusives, the Fox Suru with a nice golf ball pattern on the carbon fiber front scale on these guys. Could be a good gift for the golf lover out there, in fact, as well, even though it's not a white front scale. Blade on this guy is quite short, about 2.3 inches. You've got an N690 blade. This is an Italian-made knife as well, so some folks are definitely going to appreciate the classiness that represents too. Despite the short blade, you've got a fairly powerful shape. A lot of belly. You're going to be able to do some slicing with it, even though it is a shorter profile, and a little bit thicker as well, so you've got a little bit more strength behind the spine. This is a frame locking knife. You've also got a wire deep carry pocket clip. Just a little bit does stick up out of there. And you've got ball bearings in this guy as well. So again, another nice flipping knife. Flips open quite well. And then you've got kind of a 3-finger grip for me and probably for most folks as well, but you do have that nice finger choil up there. Kind of choke up and get a fuller grip on this knife if you'd like to. All right, I've got one more exclusive to show, and this is if you're looking for something a little bit bigger. This is the Rike Tulay with a 3 3/4 inch blade, and I'll get to all the specs in a second. This guy comes in about $150, so a little bit on the pricier side, but very nicely executed. Like I said, 3 3/4 inches of blade, 154 cm steel, but what's really nice about this one is the slicing characteristics you've got here. You've got thin blade stock, high flat grind. This is just going to be a very pleasing to use cutting knife. Just going to glide through a lot of stuff because you don't have a lot of resistance from an overly thick blade. But the real kind of star of the show, the reason for being on this knife, are these G10 handles. You can see there's no seam and no open space here at the back because this is a single piece of G10 for the handle. It's a G10 integral knife with all the inside bits kind of milled out to make space for the blade and the folding mechanism. For one thing, that's going to make it pretty darn comfortable back here since you don't have any spots where you might get pinched. It's also going to give it a lot of strength because you don't have little bitty screws kind of holding two sides together, which most of the time is quite fine, but if you really feel like you might be pushing the knife a little bit farther than the manufacturer may have intended, it's nice to have that extra strength and rigidity from this type of construction. You can see here we've got a liner lock bar kind of bolted to the inside of the handle scale there. Deep carry pocket clip on this guy. May look like it's reversible. It's not though. This is a right hand biased clip. Ball bearings in this pivot as well. I also like kind of the circular motif they put on the flipper tab here. Very easy to use, tuned really nicely, and a very high performing knife. Now several colors of these are available, but this red and black G10 with the carbon fiber inlays, like I said, is a KnifeCenter exclusive. All right, so next up, I got a couple multi-tool options. The first is Leatherman's newest, which is the Bond. And it's kind of funny to say this is their newest because it really goes back to the design of their oldest. It's a classic format of non-locking Leatherman tool. Comes in about $50, made in the USA still today. As far as the tool set, of course, you've got the standard set of pliers there, and not an extensive assortment of extra implements, but a very versatile set of extra implements. Phillips driver, can and bottle opener, of course your standard blade as well. Nice awl, 2 different sizes of flatheads, and a nice file. Single milled on one side, double milled on the other. Just exactly what you're gonna need to get through most tasks day to day. This guy does come with a nylon belt sheath for carrying it, but if you're looking for something that's maybe isn't gonna require a sheath, also check out the Leatherman Skeletool. These guys come in about 64 bucks, and while it doesn't have as many tools as that Bond, you get a few kind of key features that that tool does not have. For one hand opening blade from the outside of the tool. You don't have to open it up to get to that blade. And in addition to that, it also has a liner lock on it as well. So nice safety measure there. As far as the rest of the complement here, it really is kind of an exercise of just as much as you kind of want or just as much as you're gonna need for most non-dedicated tool situations. Fold it open, you've got the pliers, signature Leatherman element there, can't go without that, and an interchangeable bit driver here at the end, 2 Phillips right there, and an extra set of dual flathead drivers there, or an extra dual flathead driver there in the handle also. Fold it back up, you got the big carabiner at the back, which doubles as a bottle opener, and that pocket clip right there. So no need for a belt sheath with this guy. All right, so if you're looking for something for someone who's more gadget oriented rather than kind of knife or multi-tool oriented, I have a few options for you also. Good flashlight is always a nice thing, and especially if you're dealing with someone who just has a bunch of old school flashlights laying around, the Olight Baton 3 series is really nice. You can get it in a couple different formats. You can do it with just the light by itself with its magnetic charging cable, which is really nice, by the way. You just pop this on that magnetic receptacle there, and it'll be able to charge up for you overnight, or just a few minutes here and there if you need it. In addition to that, some of the new premium editions of the Baton 3 I think are really cool. They come in about 110. You got, for one thing, 1200 lumens on this bad boy at its highest level. Has a range of brightness levels, but that top level is super, super bright out of something that's, I do have fat thumbs, but it's smaller than my thumb. I mean, that is just insane. On top of that, it comes with a charging case as well. So open that guy up, you just drop this into the slot down there, and you've got almost 4 full extra charges in this battery case right here, about 3.7 I think they claim. And you just plug that in with a little USB-C to charge that back up. Really convenient, really great for travel, definitely. The crazy thing with this is they give a max runtime for the lowest level on the light here, but when you combine the onboard battery with the amount of energy stored in the case here, maximum runtime is 94 days, like a 3-month continuous on runtime right in the palm of your hand. I mean, that is just astronomical. You can get it, of course, in the orange and black that I'm showing you here. You can also get it in a black motif, blue, or my favorite, because it's kind of the same as my old SR1 Baton 2, nice red and gold, looks really excellent as well. Next gadgety thing is quite a bit cheaper, comes in about 14 bucks. Smith & Wesson, a vehicle escape USB car charging tool. Really cool little device here. I was kind of skeptical until I actually saw it in person. But throw it in the cigarette lighter, the 12-volt power port in your car, and you got 2 USB ports, a 2.4 amp and a 1 amp there. So enough to charge most things pretty well these days. But on top of that, especially for something that's going to be right there, in your dashboard, you've got some, frankly, life-saving things built in. Glass breaker here on the end, pull that out, becomes that kind of bludgeoning force that concentrates all your strike onto that single point, and nice little seatbelt cutter as well. Pretty innovative way to kind of keep these things on hand while literally taking up no extra room. Of course, we've got kind of some classic Father's Day gifty things as well, including some nice grooming stuff in our shave section on the website, and also this guy right here. We don't just have folding knives here at the Knife Center, we've also got folding combs as well. It's a little sticky. This is Kent Brushes makes these guys. This particular one's about 14 bucks. These are actually handmade in England, and interestingly, as it says here right on the back of the package, brush maker by appointment to Her Majesty the Queen. Pretty big deal, actually. And the fact that you can get them for, you know, $14 is not exactly cheap for a comb, but for something handmade and with that kind of pedigree, it's pretty easy to afford, I'd say. You can also check out our massive selection of straight razors as well. But one of the ones that, especially if you're buying for someone who's never really tried out this style of shaving before, but you think they might be interested, Dovo's Best Value Straight Razor is a great place to start. It's not a cheap thing. It comes in about 84 bucks, but it is world class all the way. Like it's built just as precisely as some of the higher end stuff. Just has a kind of a black synthetic handle, partly to keep costs down, and your standard blade here honed extremely sharp right out of the box. These are always a fantastic place to get started. Of course, we have a bunch of other shave supplies as well. This is a nice gift set here, actually. It's a Taylor of Old Bond Street Satin Gift Box Sandalwood set. Comes in 95 bucks, and you've got kind of everything you need here for a good shave. And this is something for the folks who like to use disposable cartridges. This is going to be a good option because the razor that comes with this is fitted with a standard Mach 3 cartridge. In addition to that, you've got a nice fine badger hair brush here and some nice sandalwood shaving cream in its own little case. Like I said, everything you need. Now, if Dad already has a razor he likes, you can check out all of our shave soap sets, combined with brushes or not. I have a nice brush too. Just a lot of great options to check out. And last but not least, I gotta close out with one more knife. And you guys know on this channel, I love the Opinel number 13. Makes a great barbecue knife, which, a lot of dads, not myself, I do get into the kitchen, but some dads don't really cook too much, but they will go crazy on the grill. This is gonna be fantastic for something like that. In addition to just, putting a smile on his face when he does open it. Comes in 99 bucks. You've got a almost 9-inch blade, 12C27 stainless, classic Opinel handle, just really big. Just make a great turkey carver too, come Thanksgiving or cutting up any kind of roast or ham table side. It's gonna put a smile on the guests' faces as well. Well, might make them a little frightened actually, but that could be a good thing too, depending on who what kind of person your dad is. But that's about all I've got to show you today. Hopefully this gets you pointed in the right direction for some excellent gift ideas for the dads in your life. If you want to get your hands on any of them, we'll leave links in the description to take you over to KnifeCenter.com. Make sure you sign up for our Knife Rewards program too, because when you buy one of these guys today, you'll earn some free money to spend on your next purchase. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center, signing off. See you next time.